April 13, 1912. The North Atlantic. A massive ocean liner, the pride of British engineering, cuts through the cold, silent waters. Titanic, a symbol of progress, luxury, and humanity's faith in its own power. But that night, the ocean would remind us who truly rules the seas. And it would do so with a piece of ice. Not just any ice, but a deadly iceberg that would become the symbol of one of the greatest maritime disasters in history. Today, we're telling the story of that iceberg. The one that sank the Titanic. Where did it come from? Icebergs are not just random floating ice. They are born in glaciers, in Greenland, Canada, or Antarctica. They break off, drift thousands of kilometers, and eventually reach the busy shipping routes of the North Atlantic. The iceberg that crossed Titanic's path most likely broke off a glacier on Greenland's western coast around 1910. Scientists believe the particularly warm summer of that year caused massive glacial collapses, and this iceberg began its long journey through the ocean. By April 1912, it had reached what sailors feared most, the Iceberg Alley, where the warm Gulf Stream meets the cold Labrador Current. Here, icebergs get trapped in thick fog, invisible until it's too late. What made this iceberg special? According to survivor accounts, this iceberg was enormous. Estimated to be around 30 meters, nearly 100 feet, above the water. And below the surface? Remember, about 90% of an iceberg is underwater. This was practically a floating mountain. Frederick Fleet, the lookout in the crow's nest, spotted the iceberg at 11:39 p.m. But it was already too late. Only 37 seconds passed between the sighting and impact. The ship turned, but not in time. The iceberg had unusually smooth, almost glass-like sides. It reflected little starlight, making it nearly invisible in the moonless night. A ghost in the dark. Why did this iceberg cause such a disaster? Many experts believe that if Titanic had struck the iceberg head-on, it might have survived. But the side swipe proved fatal. The iceberg scraped along the ship's starboard side, slicing through the steel hull like a can opener. It breached 6 watertight compartments. Titanic was only designed to stay afloat with 4 flooded. Now add to that, no binoculars in the crow's nest, the ship moving at near full speed, about 22 knots, and the captain's confidence that no iceberg could harm such a vessel. What happened to the iceberg afterwards? After the collision, the iceberg drifted on. It was spotted by other ships the next day, with streaks of red paint from Titanic's hull. That iceberg, the most infamous in history, likely melted within a few weeks. Disappeared into the ocean. But left behind a legend, a fear, and eventually, change. The disaster led to the creation of the International Ice Patrol, which to this day monitors iceberg activity in the North Atlantic. What do scientists say today? Modern scientists used computer simulations to trace the iceberg's journey. They estimate it traveled over 2,000 kilometers. Winds, ocean currents, and changing temperatures shaped its path. In 2012, NASA released satellite data showing that even 100 years later, similar conditions persist. Icebergs still drift through the same shipping routes. Some researchers also believe the iceberg's appearance was no coincidence, influenced by unusual spring tides, ocean anomalies, and an exceptionally icy season. In fact, 1912 saw one of the highest iceberg counts in history. A symbol and a warning. Today, the iceberg that sank Titanic is a symbol. A symbol of unseen dangers. A symbol of human arrogance. It's gone. But it lives on, in films, books, documentaries. And it reminds us, even the greatest, most advanced creations of humanity are powerless against nature. Closing thoughts. In the vast ocean, among cold winds and crashing waves, an iceberg appeared. It had no malice. No purpose. But it changed history. This is not just the story of a chunk of ice. It's a story about us. About belief in the unsinkable. And the fragility we face when reality strikes. Let's not forget. This isn't just the past, it's a lesson for the future.